Welcome to Group Dates and Hot Takes, a Bachelor Nation podcast. I'm Sampy.
And I'm Christy, and we're back to recap Katie's season of The Bachelorette.
We're back. Hello, Christy, are you ready for episode 5?
Yes, I'm excited to talk about this one.
Oh, yeah, let's get into this thing. The aftermath of Thomas.
Yes, well, now that he's gone, the guys think everything is going to be smooth sailing.
Doubt.
Yeah, they have no idea there's a Blake storm coming.
Yeah, I was just kind of funny how they tried to explain the whole situation. TK, I mean.
Yeah, well,
Quite
first
awkwardly, in my opinion.
Yes. Well, first they showed like that little walk down the road with Caitlyn and Katie, because so Nick came in like partway through Caitlyn's season. So Katie was like, "Oh, how did that go? How did it impact the house when Nick came in?" Which Katie said on another podcast she watched that season, so she already knows the answer to this question. So this is really just
lies.
This is really just for the audience watching to know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The more I watch, the more I realize it's just all lies.
Yeah, they really should not insult the audience quite that much.
Wow.
So then, yeah, Tayshia enters the room with the guys and tells them
So awkward.
Yeah, it's like, oh, a guy from my past or my season or whatever has reached out. He has good intentions. Katie's letting him stay. I mean,
Unbelievable.
They don't look thrilled.
No, they don't. They don't like that. Which is because they were excited because there was another guy gone. They got rid of Thomas successfully, but this is just throwing a monkey wrench into everything. It's just ugh. They're so irritated.
Yeah.
Like the level of irritation was just off the charts.
So then, like, Blake walks in, and this has got to be one of the worst things to have to do. To walk into a room of people who hate you, and you haven't even met them yet.
Nope.
It was so
but they
awkward.
hate every fiber of your being.
Yeah, like Aaron just goes, Blake. Just used his name as an insult, basically.
He's getting in the way of their Instagram followers, Christy.
Yeah, and
you can't do that.
No, and especially since Blake already has a huge head start with that since he was on another season.
I know, unbelievable. Won't anyone think of the poor guys who don't have very many Insta followers?
Well, Blake didn't.
No. But, he's definitely there for the right reasons.
Oh, of course. He's like, oh, I know exactly how you feel. I don't like the tension already. That was a little too late for that. Haven't met anyone quite like Katie.
That's just ridiculous. Like, people saying this crap on the show, it just makes me so irritated. Because it's like, you've met this person, like, 2 times. And you're really going to honestly tell me, oh, I haven't met anyone like this person. Oh, they're so wonderful. I'm so skeptical. I'm infinitely skeptical.
Well, it's just like when after like 1 or 2 group date convos, guys are saying stuff like, yeah, I could really see a future with you. Like, we really connect. I'm like, you've talked to her for like 15 minutes. So
Yeah, but their relationship is really progressing, Christy.
I guess I love. They always talk about how great things are without actually showing us.
Of course, yes. That's the only natural way to do it. Unbelievable.
So the date card arrives, and guess who gets the one-on-one date?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Blake.
Oh, this was so funny to watch. And then Blake has to just stand there awkwardly while everyone hates him. And he's like, this is best case scenario for me.
Of course.
So Katie walks in, just to make things even more awkward than they already are.
Oh, yeah.
Asked how they're feeling, and it was just like crickets. Nobody wanted to talk.
No, because they would have said terrible expletive-filled things.
Yep. And then finally Courtney will ask, like, how did they know each other? And Katie reels off a line of dialogue, have to follow my heart, and a bunch of other stuff.
Which is just real. It's kind of funny to me. That whole thing, because first of all, I don't really know how this compares to the majority of Bachelor history, but she said, right, she's like, she's here to find a husband, here to be sex positive. Well, she's like really going heavy on the sex positive front. I'm not totally sure how she's going on the finding a husband part, but because she's been really enjoying the making out.
But that's part of finding the husband for her.
You say that like it's the most normal thing in the world, Christy.
Well, it's part of her process.
It's part of her process, huh?
Yes. To be fair to
just-
her, all the bachelorettes use that same process. So
It just seems a little selfish.
perhaps, but they're all doing it, so nobody seems to mind.
Well, there's no excuse. Okay. It's no excuse.
So,
man.
Yeah, Katie and Blake bolt out of there pretty quick. And they go horseback riding.
Top thing on your bucket list.
It's probably somewhere in the middle. It's far from the worst thing you could do on this show.
Yeah, which he just did not. It's just a fear of horses.
Yep, that's why he's on this date.
Well, I feel like this is kind of it's a bunch of layers here. Because first of all, he's on the date because the producers knew that it would really, really, really irritate everyone else. And then additionally, they were like, it's going to be horses.
Mm-hmm. Double whammy.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah, this was just... I always just feel so awkward about these dates.
Yeah, well, at least with theirs, they seem to have a good vibe, lots of easy conversation.
Yeah, which we didn't get to see.
No, they breezed through it real quick. Like, the most I got was, like, he likes wildlife and animals, visiting Africa, and yeah, then there was a bunch of making out in the hay.
Oh, yes, very much a lot
Katie
of
says
making out.
he's a good kisser. And then I love when they splice things together like this. They're like back at the house. Greg is talking to Connor, and he's like, yeah, Blake's a contender. Cut to more making out in the hay.
Yep.
So I love the
Yeah, so-
editing on this show sometimes.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah, those poor other guys are always like, oh man, it's going so well. I just know it. It's like just have their freaking rolling around in the hay. At least in this circumstance, I don't think the other guys could actually see them.
No.
Some of the times they can like see the date.
Yeah, thankfully they were spared.
For now. Not forever, though. And I just... I'd like to voice another irritation that I have.
Ooh.
Which... which centers around the nighttime portion of this date.
Okay.
I don't really... I guess I feel similarly about this situation as I did about bringing in Matt's dad. In that, so to give context, the nighttime portion of the day, of course, and as I said at the time, I'm sure that the producers were like, "Hey Blake, like ask her what's made her so sex positive. Like that would be a good question to ask on your date." And so, of course, the reason as the story goes, we've been told in a previous episode, is that she was sexually assaulted, and so she had a lot of issues with that, and eventually came around to becoming sex positive through that, like as she recovered. And it's just kind of irritating because, and I will say it's irritating on a few levels even. Our poor listeners here getting so much irritation from me. But first of all, just how it seems like such a it seems like sort of a ploy on one level by the show to be like, hey, look, we deal with serious things here. Like we're on the right side of things. Right, because we have a bachelorette who was sexually assaulted, and now she's super sex positive, and we can have her tell that story and then put up a slide at the commercial break that says, if you're getting sexually assaulted, call this hotline or whatever, right? And so that kind of feels weird to me, because I don't trust the show at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
And so to sort of set up this type of situation, and I'm not saying even that they like picked Katie because they knew she had been sexually assaulted, and so they would get points out of it, but it just seems like that they definitely intentionally used this kind of for that, and then also just again this whole thing, it feels very exploitative to just be like, yeah, we're just gonna like keep making her tell this story to all these people.
Yeah, it was such an obvious setup, because that question he asked is, I feel like that's not really like the top question you would ask at this point. And also the fact that he wasn't on the show when she told the story, and so they needed to get him caught up, and it gave them an opportunity to relay it again and all of that. So
Yep. Put up this slide again. And I end up being very skeptical. I end up being very skeptical about that sort of thing, because it's like, oh well, like it looks good, but I'm very suspicious.
yeah, for sure.
Anyway,
So
just you want to talk about the end portion of that date?
yes, yeah, he gets the rose obviously, but then you have the typical open the double doors and here's a musician that neither of them know who it is, and they have
No.
to stand there and awkwardly dance and make out right in front of
Well,
the musician.
I mean, they could just stand there like normal people, but no, they chose.
This is The Bachelor. You have to you have to like make it as awkward as possible.
Yep, as that country guy was like, I want to memorize you.
I always wonder what it's like to be the musician. Like you're trying to play and sing, and there's just two people standing in front of you, like swaying back and forth, making out, and then all the camera people and sound people like behind them. It's what a weird thing to do.
Yes, absolutely. This is a show full of weird things.
Yeah, Katie says she could see herself walking away with Blake at the end of this. So.
Oh man, Christy, I think he's a contender.
Yeah, but it appears that way.
Oh man,
She does.
I just
She does say that a lot about guys, though. So.
yeah, but as we know, she's here to find a husband, and she's sex positive, so she takes it very seriously.
Yeah.
I just can I just say I don't want to talk about this next date.
Any particular reason why?
Oh, I think that you know why, Christy. Because it's freaking weird.
So it's a group date. Do you know how to explain what they were wearing?
I guess make you're gonna make me do this. Okay.
I feel like it
you.
should be on you since you're a guy.
I just want to say, listeners, that this makes no sense. Christy just doesn't want to talk about this and is making me do it. So, I mean, I guess I'll start with the fact that it's just like this weird combination Bachelor game of it was like a football or like rugby combined with basketball.
Played on grass.
So they were running around and like throwing like I don't know if it was actually a basketball, but it was this basketball-sized object back and forth, and then trying to get it in the hoop at either end. But everyone was wearing these outfits. Basically, I guess they would be like wrestling leotards, which means that like they sort of have the pant area and then like a strap that goes all the way up like over their shoulders, but just like I guess maybe the way I describe it is the largest plunging neckline you've ever seen.
Yeah, because it goes all the way down. So like their entire like chest and back are open, and it's like
so basically
joined to your underwear. It's weird.
So I think what the purpose ends up being, and I like not here, but in general, is that like you don't want to lose your pants when you're wrestling. But you also don't want to be like wearing all this clothes. I think that's kind of the reason. So yeah, it was very much like something you'd see like a wrestler wear. But
and then on like the back of it, it had these cutouts on their butt.
Well, it wasn't a cutout. It was like it was just like a white circle.
Well, yeah, but to like show that whatever underwear they were wearing had hearts on it underneath, so like fit in with the Bachelor theme.
Oh, are you sure that's what that was? I thought that it was just a white oval on the back that had hearts on it. I didn't think that that was their underwear. I thought that was part of like the leotard.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. There were definitely hearts on the back.
I don't think it was a cutout, but yes, there were like there's a heart on each butt cheek. for each of them. I hate that that's something that I just said. This is how far I have fallen.
Well, if these guys like really were aggressive and went at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, well, I guess we can't necessarily totally know because of editing stuff, but it seemed like Hunter kind of started this whole theme of being very aggressive, and then everyone just kind of went after it.
Yeah, and they didn't have any pads or helmets, so they're just like full on tackling each other, and eventually Michael gets hurt, which is the guy with the single dad who had the one-on-one date last time.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
So that ends the game.
Well, yeah, because as Katie said, if any of them got carted off the property, there would be no return.
Yeah. They would have to leave the bubble, so... which if that's your reasoning, they should never have played at all. But
Christy,
we don't talk about that.
No, we can't talk about that. Yes, she had to end it. And then I guess she probably felt bad, which is why she's like, "Oh, you guys all can come to the party."
Yeah. This sort of thing has happened many times throughout the course of The Bachelor. A promise of one team getting extra time, and then the lead feels bad and brings everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Classic.
So at the nighttime portion, Katie shows up wearing a red leather dress.
Did you like it? Yes or no?
I mean, yes? Question mark. like it's not my style, but I looked good on her.
Price tag?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember if I looked that one up. But I'm sure it was costly.
Yes. Sorry to derail you there. Please continue.
Katie grabs Michael first and brings him an ice pack. Because of course, he's probably still sore. He's like, my wife's birthday was yesterday.
Just so people remember, his wife who has died.
Yes, that is important. They still seem to really like each other, I guess. I still have my doubts about how far he'll make it, but he's very very likable.
Yeah, he's ended up having a lot more longevity than I originally thought, and I do generally like him a lot more as a person than initially. There, I said it.
Feelings can change.
Yep.
Next is Connor, who is playing a ukulele.
Which she just absolutely ate up.
Yes, she loved it. And I have to...
She, started crying afterwards, I think.
Yep. I also have to mention that Connor is once again wearing a shirt that is not buttoned up. It's open almost down to his belly button.
Mm-hmm. You didn't like that?
No, it looks too casual. It looks more like he should be at the beach or something.
Well, I don't know, Christy. I hate to break it to you, but I think that Katie liked it.
Yeah. Oh, I have a price tag for that dress. $23.90.
Interesting. So almost $2,400.
Yeah, I don't like it that much.
Yes, I feel like you don't like any of the things that any of them wear that much, because typically it seems like it's typically around that like $2,000 plus range most of the time.
Yeah. Insane.
Unbelievable.
So this seems to be where the guys start to turn on Hunter. Is every week you have to have somebody to hate.
Yep, it's always a shifting target.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Aaron doesn't like him because he was all aggressive during the game earlier.
Yeah, I think was it Aaron who was like pretty mean and said something about how he like looked like he was from the circus or something.
I don't remember that, but it doesn't seem far-fetched.
I think it was Aaron. Which, like, Hunter is very short and, like, maybe not the most conventionally attractive of the people there, but that's still pretty mean.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah, guys, bullying is not acceptable.
So she has a convo with Mike, but we don't really see much of it. He asked to get to first base, which was just awkward.
Yeah, I guess he was saying something about how he, like, said that, like, he had a plan or something, like reassuring her that, like, he was, like, thinking about things or something, and he was like, you know, tonight I'd like to get to first base. So, yeah, I put this in all caps in my notes. Mike kissed her.
Yeah, that happened.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's not a very virginal thing to do.
Oh, well. He did ask beforehand, so.
Yeah, I wasn't commenting on that. I'm just saying, like, if he's going to be kissing Katie, what else is he going to do?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
I perish the thought. I can't even go there. It's too terrible. Too terrible to think about. Yeah, there was a lot of kissing during this nighttime portion.
Yes, I think she kissed everybody she talked to. Or at least that we were shown. She talks to Hunter next. And he shows her pictures of his kids. He also told her, my mind has turned a corner. It's very serious now. Don't know where that came from. So at this point, Michael, tells the group about his wife who has died. And for some reason, I thought like people knew about this already, but I guess not.
Apparently not.
So a bunch of people are crying. Greg is like really, really affected by this.
I know he was really crying.
Yeah. And he's in an ITM, he was like, yeah, I really need to step it up with Katie. Somehow that correlated to him, but
I get because Michael was saying about how like something to the effect of we don't know how much time we have, and so I'm really trying to make the best of the time I have and all of this. And so like it really got to people, Christy. You know, they were like, yeah, it's right, we could go at any moment. I need to progress my relationship further.
Yeah, that's the leap he made. So he goes and talks to Katie. And this is an interesting comment. She says he has resting sad face. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Like a sad puppy.
Yeah.
But Greg says he will tough it out for her.
So gracious.
He will persevere.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess because he was seeming uncomfortable in like group date environments. I guess is that why she was kind of worried about him?
Yeah, that plus the addition of Blake, I'm sure rattled him as well. So.
Yeah.
So it's time to hand out the rose, and for some reason she gives it to Hunter.
Yeah.
I didn't understand this. Is this because he showed her pictures of his kids? Like, it really didn't say much else.
I thought that she was gonna give it to Mike P for being so sex positive.
I didn't think that was a possibility.
The kissing or giving him a rose?
Giving him a rose.
No, I know. I'm not being serious, okay? I'm making a Bachelor-related joke.
I mean, Mike is sex positive in his own way. Actually, I mean that seriously. He was on some Bachelor podcast and gave his perspective on why he believes what he does. I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Do you not want to share? You want to leave that to our imagination?
I mean, it was basically just like knowing why you believe what you do, like from the perspective of like sex is a good thing in the right context for him since he's waiting till marriage. So it wasn't like this shameful thing or this thing you can't talk about. Like his parents made sure to discuss things with them growing up. So he just seems very self-assured about why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah. Interesting.
So.
Yeah, I mean, society does put an awful lot of weight on that, which is kind of funny and ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of stigma attached to it.
Yeah. I mean, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because, in my opinion, it's just as valid as being a hoe. I don't know if I can say that.
So, yeah, people did not like the fact that Hunter got the rose.
No. He is public enemy number 1 now.
Yeah. Aaron doesn't think he deserves it.
Well, because Aaron is scared. He hasn't got enough time.
Nope.
No. Yeah, I was pretty surprised that Hunter got it as well. Because it just doesn't seem like he really has that much going on. And the other thing, too, is he's trending towards Carl territory.
That's not good.
No, it's not good. It's very bad. Just the sort of, I would say the type of statements that he was making in his ITMs, very much the same mindset, it seems like, right? Where it's like, this is just, I got this, this is just what I need to do, and she'll love me or whatever. And that, I don't like that.
He's a little too confident. Especially when he doesn't know what everyone else's connections are like, but he's so like, I got this. There's nobody else who has a connection like us. And he just looks so silly compared to people like Blake and Greg.
Or even like Connor.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What a fool.
So next is Andrew getting his one-on-one. And for some reason they start like after dark, so
freaking late.
Yeah. So it's one of those let's walk through the woods carrying lanterns kind of day.
Does this come up often?
I've seen it at least a couple of times recently, I feel like in recent seasons.
Well, I mean, Matt had a night segment. Remember? Because there was like the carnival in the woods.
Yeah. I don't remember which girl that was with, but yeah, he did that.
I thought that was with Rachel, but I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong, actually.
Rachel was the skydiving.
Oh, that was the same.
Well, that was Hometowns. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, let's not waste time with that nonsense. I swore I would never speak of it again.
Yeah, so they get to this point where there's like two electrical cords that Keaty joins together, and all of a sudden there's Christmas lights hanging from the trees.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
With pink envelopes attached to them. So like Andrew has to like lift Keaty up to reach each one, and each one has like
Christy's super romantic.
I guess. Oh, each envelope has an instruction like imitate an animal, or what's the best day of the week, or just silly, I guess, questions to answer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, a lot of stuff like that. A lot of like breaking apart. I don't even know what they were made of, but like hearts that had even more challenges.
Yeah.
In them.
Yeah, they whacked them with a bat.
Which, of course, safety first. They were wearing safety goggles.
Yes. That looked so funny.
Well, you don't want to get a shard of heart in your eye.
No, I really would like to know what that was made out of. Because it seemed hard.
Probably some sort of like, I don't know, like ceramic maybe.
Potentially.
But yeah, that's kind of funny, but also profoundly sad. When one of the challenges was like, yeah, what have you learned about relationships from your parents? And he's just like, well, what not to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a bummer.
It is pretty sad. Because that's all he had. He's like, yeah, like I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that and then I don't want to do this.
Yeah, sometimes you learn from other people's mistakes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just sad
Mm-hmm.
that like he couldn't find something positive.
Yeah, well, we learn at the, I guess, quote unquote nighttime portion at the dinner. It's already night, but
the night portion.
Yeah.
I feel like last season we had another one that was a night portion.
Yeah, I think I've seen this before. It's just funny.
Yeah, because it's probably like 5 a.m. at this point or something.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, when you start at dark, that's probably at a minimum. You started at like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And yeah, these dates go for many hours. So yeah, we learned that his dad, he said his dad got locked up when he was 6 years old. And so his dad missed a lot of his games because this is the guy who's a football player.
Yeah, he loves football. He plays football.
Mm-hmm. Said he won't repeat that pattern with his own kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then they brought up an ex of his. This was interesting.
Oh, no.
He said that a previous ex of his was white and then Andrew was black. So they started talking about interracial relationships and that his ex was worried about having mixed children and what people would say. I this was so, like, first of all, if that's how you feel, like, you don't want to have children that don't look normal or whatever you think they should look like, why are you dating this guy? Like, you know he's black, you know you're white. Like, if that's how you feel, this is not going to work.
Maybe she didn't find out he was black until later in their relationship.
I mean, that's really the only explanation. Just,
which of course,
that's such an awful thing to be like, yeah, I don't like the way our children would look, or I wouldn't want other people to like.
Yeah, it is a bit of a strange perspective to think that way. Or even like, oh man, like, I don't know, like, what if my kids don't really look like me? Like, what if they aren't like my exact shade of human flesh? It's very strange.
Yeah, just bizarre and insensitive and maybe some other things. I don't know, just oh.
But of course, and this is kind of funny to me because at this point then, and we don't know what Katie said, but presumably some variation of like, wow, like, I don't care about that, and, you know, F the haters.
Yeah.
Essentially. And then Andrew, similarly, like, yeah, like, F them, except they terribly censored his swear.
Oh, really? Missed that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they, like, did such a terrible job.
Well, I wanted to really get the point across.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, The Bachelor firmly stands in support of black people and whomever they may have children with, even if those people are white and they have mixed-race children.
Yes.
ABC is totally behind that.
They are progressive.
Yes, they are. They're just like the rest of us.
I mean, well, never mind.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't get into that.
Yeah, I was about to go down a rabbit hole, but no, let's keep going.
Yeah. Yes.
After this, they get into a hot tub where she gives him the group date rose. It's just kind of a weird time for that.
The one-on-one rose, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, the one-on-one rose.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta bring out a hot tub. This is the Bachelorette.
Yep, gotta have at least one per season.
Oh yeah, because hot tubs are classic and romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Man. So, what do you think about this cocktail party?
Well, it opens with Hunter applying lip balm, which just made me laugh. Yeah, it was just there was, I guess the main portion of this was Hunter versus
drama.
Yeah, the other guys.
Yes. Please.
Yeah, Hunter really starts to rub me the wrong way here. He's like, this is me and her the rest of the way. I was aggressive and I got the rose. Just this, like, overconfident.
Well, yeah, so basically, and as a good friend of ours would say, I think he took the wrong lesson away from that.
Yes.
Right, so he just, in his mind, he's like, oh, yeah, I was super aggressive. I smashed those guys up. And Katie was like, oh wow, raw testosterone. Oh yeah, let's give him the group date rose. When probably right, it was that like she was like, oh wow, he at least has feelings sometimes because he showed me cute pictures of his kids and he was like hugging them, and so in his mind he's still like aggressive, and so he literally in the ITM was like, yeah, I was aggressive and like she was digging that, and so I'm just gonna continue this.
Yes, that he got the wrong memo.
And it may be the death of him.
Yeah, he took Katie down to this, like, I don't know, like below wherever they were in the building, and he said he brought his telescope from home, so they're like looking through it, drinking champagne. He got a little nice setup down there. And then Aaron and James are like above them outside, just looking down.
Yeah, because as I'll mention again, this is the cocktail party for the rose ceremony. This isn't one-on-one date time.
No. And James decides he's going to interrupt because remember, Hunter already has a rose, and people don't take kindly to people who already have a rose stealing time.
No. Because they're going to be around for another week. But I might not be around for another week. I need time to progress my relationship.
Yes, exactly. So, James decides to, like, walk up to them as they're still talking, and Hunter, like, shuts him down. It's like, oh, I need a couple more minutes. I was like, James is like, okay. So he, like, walks away, but not all the way away, and is still, like, lurking in the background where Hunter's still trying to talk. And you guys know that always makes me laugh when you see the person just standing there creeping.
Yeah, because he did approach actually, and Hunter was like, "No, I'm not gonna leave."
Yeah,
and so he's like, and he goes away and lurks more. I laughed so hard because again, it's so reminiscent of a Carl type character. Because then he has an ITM and he's like, I lost some time and I'm gonna get it back.
Yeah, he is not pleased that James stole. And
it's like, maybe use your brain, bro.
Yeah, and after all that, the only thing we got from James was that his feelings for her grow every day. That was it. And then, like, after that, James comes back to Aaron and, like, fist bumps him, like, job well done, like, I stole him. And then Hunter comes over to them, and this is awkward because Trey is also there. And Hunter's like, what?
I was just going to say, Trey has a very low tolerance for BS.
Yes, they are all butthurt. And Hunter's like, I'm competing for the same love you are, which is so weird to say. And then they're like, wait, you're saying some of the same things Thomas was saying, and this really riles Hunter out. He's like, no.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because was it? I think it was Trey who was like I'm not saying you're a Thomas, but like you're saying a lot of Thomas things right now.
Yes, this did not go over well with him. And also, these guys need to like give up the notion that they're all going to get equal amounts of time with her. Like that's just never been the way this show works. But they are still holding to that. Well, I didn't get my time. You had too much. You interrupted. You already had a rose. All this stuff.
Yeah, it's cutthroat, but you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Yeah, because I don't know. Did Trey get any time with her that week?
I know he said he didn't, but then like Katie posted like these behind the scenes photos online, and it showed her talking with him at this cocktail party.
Lie?
I mean, I don't know when that happened, but yeah. So
Okay, well, maybe after. Who knows?
potentially. So I guess at this point, TK enters and basically takes Katie with them. Cocktail party time is over, and it's time for the rose ceremony.
Oh, boy. Lord have mercy.
So it looks like, just to cut to who didn't get a rose, it was Courtney, Josh, and Andrew M, I think.
See, I don't know who Josh and Andrew M are.
Josh was the black guy, and then Andrew M, I think he was part Asian. He had like dark hair. I mean, we barely got to see any of him or Josh.
No, I was sad about Courtney, though.
Yeah. But yeah, those
seemed like
three.
an actual, like, not terrible person.
Yeah, he seemed
I'd say
normal enough.
I would have rather either Brendan, James, or Justin go home instead.
I find Justin entertaining. He's the one who makes all the faces.
Well, okay, fine. James or Brendan. Because Justin was the one who tried to kill Michael.
Yeah, he's the one who hit him.
I can't believe you would support someone like that, even if they do make funny faces. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's... Yeah, and then, of course, just another Hunter TM moment where they will not steal my joy.
Yeah, and thus another villain is born.
Yep.
And then we see a super tease with a ton of crying and drama to come. And
Lots of crying, lots of kissing, lots of crying, lots of yelling, lots of crying.
Yep. Lots to look forward to.
Sure.
And then we had the tag where, actually, we forgot to mention earlier during the group date that Wells Adams, who was on a previous season, and Franco, the photographer who shows up from time to time, were the people like hosting the group date. So it showed them doing like drills and squats.
Which just seems like why was that even necessary? Who gives a crap?
Yes, you have to have somebody hosting it.
Why? Don't they pay TK for that?
Yeah, but I mean, they're trying to replicate like the celebrity guest who would normally come in.
Yes, but Christy, I'm literally not one iota more interested that those two people showed up.
Well, like Katie told them she had celebrity guests, and they were guessing like Michael Phelps, Dwayne Wade. Like, in what world would those people ever show up on The Bachelor? So,
especially if they have to quarantine first.
yes, like normally it's like they had Ashton Kutcher show up in a previous season, so like they used to get like at least somewhat recognizable people for these, but now we are relegated to previous Bachelor contestants. So
yeah, it's just funny to me because as I said, it makes no difference to me whatsoever that they showed up.
No, not these two.
Oh man. Yeah, so is that because you wanted to talk about the tag?
Oh yeah, that was pretty much it. They were just doing like these weird dance moves to like warm up.
Yeah. Very strange. Very strange uniforms. Very strange game. Very strange show. Yeah. I will say that it's pretty extreme season. And by season, I mean episode.
Yeah, I'm glad we ended on a rose ceremony, though.
Yeah, I was very nervous.
Yeah, it looked like we might not make it, but we are back on track.
Thank the Lord for that. Because I was very worried. I mean, you heard me watching the show. I was like, oh boy, oh boy. They're going to make it. But they did, thankfully. So I have kisses, Christy.
I know there were a lot.
Yes, there were 18.
Wow.
Which still is not over the single episode record since this has been tabulated. Since we did have quite an extreme episode, I would assume that it was just the Fantasy Suites episode. Probably. Or it may have been... Actually, I think it was the Hometowns, maybe. Last season, where we had 33 kisses.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, you forgot about that, didn't you?
Yeah, Yeah, that's quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so, Katie's got some catching up to do, but I believe in her. I think that she wants to kiss everyone that much.
Such a weird part of the show.
Yeah. Especially when it happens so quickly, like one after the other.
Yes, on a group date. It's like any person after the first is just... it's hard to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely want to be on the front end of that whole kiss chain. Cuz I don't know, I guess I would assume they give the contestants like mouthwash or a mint or something.
I would hope so.
Disinfectant of some kind. Just have them swish with Lysol. Because I may have asked you this before, but do they like make the contestants and lead and stuff like do like STD testing?
Yes, they do. I've heard that there are people who would have gotten cast but don't because they tested positive for something. So.
Ah, man, exciting times and an exciting episode. This has been Group Dates and Hot Takes, a Bachelor Nation podcast. I'm Sampy.
And I'm Christy. We'll talk to you next week.